Yo, what is up everyone? I'm back with another video here today for you all. And today for you all, I got some more locker info, like not locker info, but more stuff that I'm going to be going over that I have. So I've already went over my outfits. That was the first video, and then the last one I did was backlinks and pickaxes. So if you haven't seen that already, I also went over like my whole account, like kind of thing. But yeah, if you all want to see those two videos, make sure to go check them out. Today we're going to be doing gliders and contrails. So without wasting any other time, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. But without wasting any other time, let's go ahead and get into this. So yeah, so first up we have Lava Wing introduced in season 8. And it's part of the Lava series. It's pretty cool. It's really big, as you can tell, but yeah. Next up, we got Fusion Coal, introduced in Chapter 2, Season 1. I have both of the styles unlocked for it. Next up, we have Laser Chop, introduced in Season 5. This is a big dude. Like, look how big that dude is. Yeah. Next up, we got the Millennial Falcon, introduced in Chapter 2, Season 1. This was part of the Star Wars series pack, or not pack, but Star Wars series. Next up we got Tide Whisperer, introduced in Chapter 2, Season 1. Again, part of the Star Wars series. I don't know. I'm not too big of Star Wars fan, but this glider right here is pretty cool. Alright, next up we got Booty, introduced in Season 8. Next up we have a Cloud Strike, introduced in Season 1, but I'm not an OG owner of this, unfortunately. I would love to be, but I'm not. Next up we got Coral Blue, introduced in Season 9. This is one of the gliders you get in one of the PlayStation packs. But yeah. Next up we have Conquest, introduced in Season 5. Next up we have Crazy 8, introduced in Chapter 2, Season 1. And I have 2 out of the 3 colors unlocked for it. Next up we have Dark Engine, introduced in Season 6. Next up we have High Octane, introduced in Season 3. Next up we have Interpret, introduced in Season 4. Next up we have Junk Bucket, introduced in Season 10. Next up we got Master Mix, introduced in Season 10. We got Metal Mark, introduced in Chapter 2, Season 1. We got Rickety Runner, introduced in Season 7. We got Sparkle Strider, introduced in Season 10. We got Splashdown, introduced in Season 5. We got Swarm, introduced in Season 6. We got Wings of Valor, introduced in Season 4. What? Moving on to the rares, we got Blue Streak, introduced in Season 2. Now this was part of the Season 1 this was like the first. This glider was in the first pack of the PlayStation Plus pack, as long as with the skin. Like I said, guys, if you haven't seen that video, make sure to go watch it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't use this as much anymore since I have like all the other gliders. But yeah. Next up, we have Covered Crusader, introduced in Season 6. Next up, we have Flappy, introduced in Season 5. I think another part of the PlayStation Plus packs. Next up, we have Girder, introduced in Season 7. Gundrop, introduced in Season 1, but I'm not an OG member of it. Next up, we got Lockstep, introduced in Season 8. We got Pixel Pilot, introduced in Season X. I didn't unlock any of the other things though. I still have the basic one. Next up, we have Per Music, introduced in Season 1. I'm not an OG owner of it though. Next up, we have Rainbow Rider, introduced in Season 3. We have Rift Rider, introduced in Season 10. We have Sky Serpent, introduced in Season 8. We have Sky Trawler introduced in Chapter 2, Season 1. I have both of the colors unlocked for it. Next up we have Spray Snail introduced in Season 10. We have Sugar Crash introduced in Season 4. We have Technical Sleigh introduced in Season 7. We have Tree Fall introduced in Chapter 2, Season 1. We have Bass Jumper introduced in Chapter 2, Season 1. We have Carbon introduced in Season 3. We have Cinder introduced in Season 8. We have Crossfire introduced in Season 6. We have Cruiser introduced in Season 5. We have Downshift introduced in Season 5. We have Field Flyer introduced in Season 9. We have Picnic introduced in Season 6. I never did like that tail coming out of the back there. It looks really weird. Next up we have Plunder introduced in Season 8. I have both of the styles unlocked for it. Next up we have Perfect introduced in Season 5. Next up we have Royal Air introduced in Season 7. Stealth introduced in Season 1, but I'm not an OG player of it. Next up we have Touchdown introduced in Season 6. And oh yeah, anything that's favorited if you haven't watched the other two videos. But like I said, I recommend highly that you watch them too, as well as this one. But next up we got Touchdown introduced in Season 6. We got Beach Umbrella introduced in Season 5. We got Downpour introduced in Chapter 2, Season 1. We have Glider, which is a standard glider you get. We have Holographic introduced in Season 9. We have One Shot introduced in Season 9. Which is, I love this umbrella. Like, it's all black. Like, it's awesome. Next up, we have Palm Leaf introduced in Season 8. Paper Parcel introduced in Season 3. Snowflake introduced in Season 2. Storm Sail introduced in Chapter 2, Season 1. The Umbrella, which is like the basic umbrella you get for winning as well. Web Umbrella introduced in Season 6. Wet Paint introduced in Season 4. X introduced in Season 10. So that's all my gliders that I have. Now we're going to be moving on to the contrails. So first out we have Gorlifics introduced in Season 7. Part of the Dark Series pack. Next up we have Holly and Davy introduced in Chapter 2, Season 1. Once you unlock it, once you have got it, you get all three styles for it. And this is my only epic contrail as well. Now, alright, moving on to our rares. We got All-Star introduced in Season 3. We got Artifact introduced in Season 5. We got Ballistic introduced in Season 8. We got Bats introduced in Season 6. We got B-Drop introduced in Season 10. We got Billboards introduced in Chapter 2, Season 1. We got Blue Fusion introduced in Chapter 9. Or Season 9. Next up we have Bubbles introduced in Season 3. Next up we have Cash Flow introduced in Season 5. Sentinels introduced in Season 10. Clovers introduced in Season 8. DNA introduced in Chapter 2, Season 1. Exhaust introduced in Season 6. We have Fiberglyph Optics introduced in Season 7. We have Fireflies introduced in Season 6. We have Flames introduced in Season 3. We have Flying Standard introduced in Season 8. We have Glitch In System introduced in Season 5. We have Hearts introduced in Season 4. We have Ice Crystals introduced in Season 5. We have Jack-O-Lantern introduced in Season 6. We have Lanterns introduced in Season 5. We have Lava introduced in Season 8. We have Lightning introduced in Season 4. Did I say Lanterns? And I think I said Season 8. Or maybe I didn't. Anyway, this is, even if I did say this was from Season 8, this is actually from Season 5. Next up we have Lightning introduced in Season 4. Neo Tubes introduced in Season 9. Overlay introduced in Season 10. Phantasm introduced in Season 8. Popcorn introduced in Season 10. Rainbow introduced in Season 3. Retro Scarfire introduced in Season 4. I absolutely hate this contrail. We have Rift Lightning introduced in Season 10. We have Running introduced in Season 5. We have Shooting Star introduced in Season 4. We have Plum Stream introduced in Chapter 2, Season 1. We have Snowflakes introduced in Season 7. We got Spectral Essence introduced in Season 6. We got Spectrum introduced in... introduced in Chapter 2, Season 1. Next up we have Spray Paint introduced in Season 4. We have Starring Lights introduced in Season 7. We have TP introduced in Season 5. We have Ultramatic introduced in Season 3. We have Virtual Flames introduced in Season 6. And we have Zero Point introduced in Chapter 2, Season 1. So that is both my glider and contrail. My next video, which actually should be up tomorrow, will be all of my dances. So make sure you're there for that. But that's gonna be it for me today, guys. I hope you all did enjoy. I'll catch y'all later in the next one. Peace out.